I'm Amanda, bringing you some power yoga today. So I'm already warmed up. I'm ready to get going. What we're gonna do is warm up, a nice, easy, steady, consistent warm up. Surya Namaskars, A's, B's, you know, all that good stuff. And then we're gonna work on some fun hamstring openers and some new arm balances. They may be new to you. I know they're new to my class. Maybe you've practiced them before. So that's kind of just a little glance at what we're gonna do in our power hour, even though it's not a full hour. All right, guys, so kind of peel the flesh away from the sitting bones. Just start to ground yourself in a comfortable seated position. Of course, always checking in, kind of slowing down your heart rate. If you kind of raced onto the mat, you're trying to squeeze in that yoga practice, see if you can just kind of ground yourself in this seated position. Start to get that dual action, grounding through the sitting bones, lifting up through the crown of the head, lengthening through the torso. Close the eyes and breathe. Tuck the chin in slightly as you get that throat lock and that calm, steady Ujjayi breathing. One more breath here. See if you can inhale to lengthen and exhale to soften, maybe the face, the cheeks, the eyebrows. Keep that nice, long, steady breathing. Feel free to keep your eyes closed or gently open them. Left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the back. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center, other side. Left hand behind the back, inhale, lift. Use the resistance of your hand on your left knee to exhale, twist the torso. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. Draw those shoulders down. Good, back to center. Roll over the knees and come to all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, drop the belly, roll the shoulders and sitting bones up, look up. Exhale, round, tuck the chin in. Inhale. And exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Good, tuck the toes, keep the knees bent, drive the heels back, and push the chest back towards the legs. So your knees stay bent, it's a turbo dog. Sitting bones rolling up. So sitting bones are those little pokey bones that you sit on. See if you can start to roll them up towards the ceiling. Reach out of the shoulders, grounding the roots of the index finger, reaching the thumbs towards one another. Push the belly towards the legs and breathe. Keep the right knee bent, straighten the left leg. Driving the left heel towards the floor, inhale. Exhale, switch. Back to center. Come high up onto all 10 toes. Look forward. Walk, feet to hands. Come up onto the fingertips. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Keep the knees bent. Grab opposite elbow. Feet can be together or hip width apart, whatever gives you the best balance. Tucking the chin in, you can rock a little side to side. And then find stillness. Keep grabbing opposite elbows. Start to draw the elbows above the ears, bend the knees, reaching the sitting bones back, weights in the heels, toes are lifting. Belly isn't resting on the legs. See if you can hover the chest, the torso, right over the legs. Keep this shape and reach forward. Palms face each other, gaze is down. That same dual action we were doing in that seated pose. So sitting bones reaching back, shoulders reaching forward. Not by crunching towards the ears, but actually by pulling the shoulders back and creating length in the torso. Get a little longer, a little lower. Keep this nice straight spine and inhale up, Utkatasana. Weights in the heels still. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up onto the fingertips. Look out, lengthen. Ground the palms, walk or jump back, Chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left heel in, right foot lunges. Inhale, warrior one. Lower the hands, same exhale, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back. Other side, right heel in, left foot lunges. Inhale. Lower. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale back. Down dog for 5 breaths. So as a reminder, guys, this is an all levels practice. If you tuned in today and you're not feeling like you need to move as fast as I am, then give yourself permission to slow down, to rest, to take a child's pose. It's all good. I know a lot of you are doing this yoga practice as one of your rest days. So please give yourself that time to rest. Exhale a little bit deeper. Good. Look forward. Come high up onto the toes. Walk or float feet to hands. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Feet are together. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms. Chair pose. Shoulders drawing down. Get a little bit lower. Good. Straighten the legs. Hands to the hips. Separate the feet hip width apart. Push the hips forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Forward fold. Middle and index finger. Hook the big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Padangusthasana. Elbows drawing away from one another. Crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Breathe. Keep driving the elbows away from one another. Toes are not lifting. Toes are grounding down as you pull the crown of the head towards the floor. One more. Inhale, lengthen through the front body. Exhale, fold. Good. Release the toes. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Step the left foot back. Left palm down, right hand up. Twist. Keep pushing forward with the right knee, back with the left heel. Spinning at the ribs. Lower the right hand, step back, downward facing dog. Keep lifting the hips up and back. Look between the thumbs, bend the elbows, and scoop. Inhale to upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Hip stays closed, reaching back through that right heel. Knee into the nose, shoulders forward. Hover. Lunge the right foot in between the hands. Modification, you can lower the back knee or keep it lifted. Arms up, crescent lunge. Nice and low through those hips. Palms come together, heart center. They stay here as you set up your twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale. And exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Keep pushing the armpit into that right knee. Good, unwind. Step forward, left foot to right, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right foot back. Right palm down, left hand up. Gaze is up. Keep bending the left knee, pushing forward with that knee, back with the right heel. Pulling the left sitting bone back. Ribs are spinning up. Breathe. Shoulders soften away from the ears. Lower the left hand, step back, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, look between the thumbs, bend the elbows, and scoop into upward facing. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg lifts, hip is closed, foot is flexed, reaching back through that left heel. Knee into the nose, shoulders forward, hover. Lunge the left foot forward, option to drop that knee, or traditional crescent lunge. Get nice and low, palms come together, elbows wide. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. If that knee, or the elbow is easily at the knee, start to work your armpit in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Keeping the thumbs at heart center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Unwind. Right foot to left, top of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Feet are hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider actually than the mat, or about mat width. So a little wider than your hips. Bring your elbows to the inside of the knees, palms together, heart center. Drop the hips and lift the chest. Breathe. Keep grounding the outer edges of the feet. So what you're doing is you're using your elbows to push your knees back. The tendency is that the knees want to cave in because the groin, the hip area could be tight. So see if you can really use the strength of your arms to push those knees back. Now, if you can do that without the strength of your arms, keep your knees exactly where they are, reach forward. Keep dropping the hips, lifting the chest, right elbow under the left for eagle arms. If you went here and your knees are starting to cave in, you know you're not giving yourself justice. You're not helping, you're losing the integrity of the pose, and you're actually adding more pressure on your knees. So please don't do it. If you know your knees are starting to cave in, keep your hands here. Otherwise, eagle arms, fold forward if you know your knees won't come with you. Breathe. Inhale up. Release the arms, other side, left elbow under right. Elbows up, hands away from the face for those eagle arms. Keep grounding the outer edges of the feet and fold forward. Good, inhale up. Release, hands to the front of the mat, knees to armpits, Bakasana. Lifting one foot or both. Start to roll the hips forward as you float the feet. Maybe it's one foot, maybe it's both today. If you have liftoff, can you splay the toes out and bring the heels together? Start to straighten the arms. Breathe. Now don't overthink it, just shoot the legs back right into chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back. Left heel in, right foot lunges. Inhale, warrior two. Right elbow to the inside of the knee, left arm up. Get lower through the leg, turn the top palm to face forward, reach up over the ear. Spinning at the ribs. Left arm up, broaden, back to warrior two. With control. Keep your arms wide, start to spin yourself to face the front of the mat. Turn the back heel up. Get low through the front leg. Start to reach towards the back wall and fly, airplane. Flex the floating foot. Breathe. Keep the hip closed, lifting the chest. And then right hand in front of the right foot, left arm up for Ardha Chandrasana. Half moon. Keep lengthening. One more breath. Reach forward, get that dual action. Forward through the crown of the head, back through the floating heel. Soften the right knee, lower left foot right into triangle. So both legs are straight, pulling that left hip back. Gaze could be up or down. Keep grounding both big toes, stacking left hip on top of right. One more breath. Go ahead, inhale up. Bend the right knee, cartwheel the arms around, step back, vinyasa. Inhale up, exhale back. Beautiful, rest here. Pause in your down dog, check in with the breath. I know we're moving fast, so it's especially important today to keep your focus on that calm, steady breathing. Come high up onto all 10 toes, turn the heels out slightly and sink the heels deeper. Use the sinking of the heels to help lift the hips back. Right heel in, left foot lunges, warrior two, other side. Pulling the right hip back, left elbow to the inside of the knee, right arm up. Get lower through the legs, turn the top palm to face forward, reach up over the ear. Keep that back leg straight, strong, it's grounded. Spinning the ribs up, one more breath. Good, back to warrior two. Now keep the arms wide, broad, spin towards the front, turn the back heel up, shift the weight into the left foot and fly, airplane. Breath is calm, heart is lifted, hips are level, so keep dropping your right inner thigh. Up, turn it up, that's a little corkscrew in the leg. And then left fingertips in front of the left foot, right arm up for Ardha Chandrasana. Not an easy transition, so move slowly. Keep stacking those hips. You use the floor if you need to. If not, lift up. Reach forward, that dual action, always. One more breath. Soften the left knee, lunge the right foot back for Trikonasana, triangle. Stacking right hip on top of left. Breathe. Allow this to get into that side body, the psoas. This is one of my favorite poses for that reason. It's a unique pose that gets into that place that we often aren't able to stretch. So enjoy it. Keep grounding the back heel, the back big toe. One more breath here. Good, inhale up to standing. Bend the left knee, cartwheel the arms around, vinyasa. Moving with the breath. Exhale, elbows in. Inhale up. Exhale, back, down dog. Sink the heels. Walk the hands a little closer to the feet. Soften the right knee. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right ankle, shin, foot. Straighten the right leg. Gaze is under the right armpit. So we're just adding a nice twist into our down dog. Keep grounding the right heel and turning that heel out a bit. Inhale. Exhale. Good, gently switch. Bending the left knee, right hand to the outside of the left foot, ankle, shin. Gaze is under. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Good. Unwind. Back to down dog. Turn the right heel in, lunge the left foot forward, walk the hands to center. Heels out, toes in. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Start to walk the hands back in between the feet, pulling the shoulders through the legs. Good, inhale, walk it forward again. So you start to get light in the fingertips. Start to really engage the feet, grounding the outer edges of the feet, lifting the inner arches. Your legs, your inner thighs, everything is working to stabilize yourself. Start to reach the sitting bones back, even so much so that you can start to spread your sitting bones. Sounds wild, but it is possible, and it's not kinky. So see if you can start to bring more awareness to the pelvis to help spread the sitting bones. Good, now keep your back flat. Keep the gaze down and bring the biceps by the ears. Core is engaged, back is flat. Get a little longer. Keep grounding the outer edges of the feet and inhale up. Nice. Interlace the hands behind the back. You may want to adjust your stance, heel toeing the feet together a bit. Draw the palms together, reach the knuckles towards the floor, push the hips forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hinge of the hips, forward fold. Hands come with you as you get into those shoulders. You can rock a little side to side. One of my favorite things to do, just kind of make it an organic self-expression. Yoga doesn't always have to be so stagnant, so regulated. Of course, there's still discipline in it, so make sure you're keeping that. And then find your stillness. Bringing the hands up over the head, neck is soft. One more breath here. Keep the fingers interlaced. Bring the hands to the lower back and inhale up to standing. Little back bend at the top if you'd like. Good, neutral spine. Hands to the hips and turn to face the front of the room. Your feet didn't move, they just turned to face the front of the mat. Good, bring the hands to the hips. Now we're gonna add shoulders, so grabbing opposite elbow or reverse namaste behind you. I'm going for that reverse namaste because I'm nice and warm already. So wherever you're at, pull the shoulders back, keep pulling the left hip back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to fold forward. Head is the last thing to fold over that left leg. Breathe. Keep pulling the shoulders back. You may stay here, you may keep it a little more challenging, bending the left knee, shifting it forward into a standing split variation with the bind. Without using your hands, bend both knees. Bring the right knee to the outer edge of the left ankle for seated Ardha Matsyendrasana. Wiggle the right heel out of the way to drop that left hip. Left hand behind the back, right arm up. Ground your left big toe so much that you could stand on it and hook elbow to knee. Setting up your seated twist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. Good, counter over to the right, fold towards the floor. Inhale up, setting up double pigeon here. We're not here for too long, but we do want to get a nice deep hip opener. So start to stack shins on top of shin. So your left shin should be on top, your feet are flexed. What does that mean? Toes reaching towards your kneecap, so they're active. You can start to lean into that top shin as a self-assist. You can bring your right hand into in between the toes, working webbing to webbing. Breathe. One more. Good. Release the toes, circle out the ankle, roll over the knees, vinyasa. Left heel in, right foot lunges, walk the hands to the center of the mat. Heels out, toes in. Inhale, look out, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Start to walk the hands back. This time, middle and index finger, hook those big toes. Draw the elbows away from one another, crown of the head towards the floor. Shifting weight into the toes and slightly out of the heels. Breathe. Soften the shoulders, the upper body. See if you can get that sitting bone spreading action. I don't know if that makes any sense, but hopefully you know what I mean. So spread those sitting bones. One more breath. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Good. Inhale, look forward, straighten out the arms. Bring the hands to the hips. Draw the elbows together behind you and inhale up to standing. Good. Keep the hands to the hips. Shorten the stance and face the front of your mat. Pulling the right hip back, adding those shoulders. So opposite elbow or reverse namaste. If you're going for that reverse namaste, can you get your hands higher up the spine? It's a second round, so hopefully you have a bit more space in those shoulder joints. Keep pulling the shoulders back, grounding both big toes. Inhale, exhale, fold. Head is the last thing to fall over the right leg. Breathe. Let your head go. Keep working the chest over that right leg. Stay here or play. Bending the right knee, start to shift it forward into a standing split variation. Keeping your chest low, it helps. Breathe. Then without using your hands, bending both knees, bring the left knee to the outer edge of the right ankle for seated Ardha Matsyendrasana. Wiggle the left heel out of the way to drop the right hip, grounding the right big toe, release the arms. Shake it out. I know that's kind of a lot, can be a lot on the wrists, so if you need to do some wrist circles, and then right hand behind the back, left arm up, lengthen, and hook elbow to knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Keep dropping the right hip, grounding your left big toe. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more. Good. Counter over to the left, fold towards the floor. Inhale up, setting up your double pigeon, your wonderful hip opener. So stacking, working the shins on top of one another, really trying to allow that right heel to hang off the edge of your left knee. So if you can see, instead of your heel being close to the back of your knee, you really want it to hang over the edge of your left knee. That's how you'll get deeper in your hips. I know you'll probably ends up hurting, but that's the idea, right? We want to find some stiffness, some tension, so we have some hope of releasing it. So again, you can start to lean forward. Maybe just sitting up tall is exactly where you need to be today. You'll know. Adding fingers in between the toes if you want, that webbing to webbing. And breathe. We're not here too long, so see if you can make the most out of this hip opener. Soften the lips, the jaw. 2 more breaths here. One more. Beautiful. Release the toes, the fingers, circle out that ankle, roll over the knees, vinyasa. Good, breathe, reaching back through those hips. Good, look between the hands, come high up onto the toes, walk or jump all the way through, coming into seated Dandasana. Excuse me. For some reason that just makes me laugh a lot of times. Peel the flesh away from the sitting bones, hands next to the hips. Drawing the pinky toes back, the inner thighs down. Okay, so bring your right foot just a few inches away from your left inner thigh. Use your left hand to push, to reach forward. First, you stay here. If you know you're not going to be able to bind around this leg, you stay here and just reach towards that left foot. Otherwise, can you bind the right arm around, holding your hands behind your back? Fold nose to knee. Keep tucking the chin in, breathing through the back body. Okay, now you might stay here or start to release the bind. Start to grab the outer edge of your right foot with your right hand and pull the knee back. So it's kind of like a seated half happy baby variation. You might stay here and just kind of work into the hip. That's perfect. Or if your hamstrings are nice and open today, you can start to bring your right shoulder behind the knee and your left hand comes to the outside of the right foot, right hand straight or right arm straightens, and you start to straighten that right leg for compass pose. Maybe full pose is when you look under your left armpit. Okay, so you stay here. Or start to bend the right knee, start to stack knee on top of shoulder, hands come next to the hips. Bring your left foot on top of the right. Hook your feet, it helps. Really hook onto those feet and lift the hips. If you've got that, you can maybe start to straighten out the legs and lower your chest. Now, you can stay here, or if you want to play, keep your right leg on top of your right arm, free your left leg, send it through your hands for Kundinyasana. Then you can go into chin and into vinyasa. So there's lots of ways to get out of that. We'll all meet in a vinyasa, so move through a vinyasa however you got there. Good, look forward, come high up onto the toes, walk or jump all the way through. That was a little more controlled. Good job, Amanda. Peel the flesh away from the sitting bones. Kind of get the butt cheeks behind you to really ground those sitting bones. Without using your arms, use the strength of your hip and your core to bring your left foot in. A few inches away from the right inner thigh. Use your right hand to push, reach forward, wrap. Stay here. Maybe you just stay reaching over that right foot, or you can bind. Fold nose to knee. Tucking the chin in. Breathing through the back body. One more breath here. So if you know you're not going to do any of those crazy arm balances today, stay here and just keep breathing. If not, you can start to work. The one thing I will say is if you never try, you're never, ever, ever going to get anywhere near it. So that was one of the things. One of the things I love observing about children, they're always going to try. They don't care what they look like. They're completely fearless. They're going to throw their legs up. They're going to try to get their foot behind the head. They don't care what they look like. So, of course, using wisdom and knowing if you're ready or not, but maybe even if you don't think you're ready, you can start to kind of work it, and I bet you surprise yourself. So, just notice if you don't even try and ask yourself what that's all about, or if you can maybe start to get out of your comfort zone, try something a little different, something you probably think you can't do, but I bet you're stronger than you realize. So again, we're in that half happy baby variation. You stay here, you just kind of work into that hip, or start to bring your left shoulder behind the knee, Stay here or start to straighten out that left leg. Your right hand comes to the outside of your left foot. Straighten out the left arm, bring it to the floor, and straighten the left leg. For that compass pose, gaze is under your right armpit. Breathe, stay here, or start to stack left knee on top of that shoulder. That's key. You really got to get that knee on top to help you. Hands come next to the hips, right foot on top of the left. Hook your feet, lift. Start to straighten the legs, lower the chest. Stay here. If you want to try for that transition, keep your left leg on top of your left arm. Free your right leg and send it through. Vinyasa. Moving through that vinyasa with your breath, meeting in a down dog. Breathe, so those arm balances, all those things, challenge our breathing, challenge our composure. So ground yourself in this down dog. See if you've allowed yourself to open up the backs of the legs so much that you can lift your toes. Good, and then look forward, come high up under the toes, walk or float all the way through. Peel the flesh away. Okay, setting up half virasana. So lean over to the left, bend the right knee, peel the right calf out of the way to drop the right hip. So if you feel your knee talking at all, you need to elevate your hips, sitting on a pillow, a block, something you have at home. Otherwise, if your knee is happy here, you start to walk back. Maybe you come to your elbows, and that's going to be it today. You're working to get a nice quad stretch here. If you start to walk back and your knee's lifting, you probably have gone too far, so don't push it. Make sure you're listening to your own body. If you can, kind of tilt your hips. Try to get your butt cheeks forward so you can lengthen the lower back, and maybe you can come all the way to supta, to reclining. If you're in supta and you're still needing more in your quad stretch, bend your left knee. Keep your left foot down and start to bring your left knee over to the right. Oh, and that'll give you hopefully some information. I know that's what I need. So it's just information. We're just moving our body in ways we're not used to so we can release tension, so we can explore, notice where our habits are, where our tension's kept, so we can breathe and move through them. Trusting that this practice helps us stay youthful, helps us stay flexible, mobile, calm, peaceful, all these things. There's endless, endless, endless benefits to this practice. Even if you are coming into it once a week, slowly come out of it. So even if you can, you're doing Chiseled, you're doing those toning classes, all those other things that we offer here at Live Exercise, even if you can just incorporate this yoga once a week, I promise you'll feel it. You'll feel it actually improving your other classes because you have that mind-body awareness. You actually know how to breathe, how to move your body so that you don't injure yourself. Okay, so we're going into the other side. Pulling the left heel to the hip, pulling that calf out of the way. Drop the left hip, stay here. This is plenty. Again, we're working into steps. So if you need more, only if you need more, you'll work to your forearms. Maybe kind of pull the pubis bone forward to get the butt cheeks out of the way as you walk it down. I love the analogy. I always say, you go to a buffet and you don't eat everything at the buffet, right? So you take little bits and pieces, things you need today. See if you can approach your yoga practice as you would eating at a buffet. Not going to eat the whole thing. You're going to take bits and pieces. You may go back for more. You may start to kind of breathe into it and realize, oh, I can go a little deeper. Oh, I can have some seconds, right? So again, if you need more through that left quad, you're going to bend your right knee and bring your right foot down. Start to turn your right knee towards the left, and maybe that gave you some information. Breathe. Good, gently straighten out the right leg. Come on up. Bend the knees, scoot the hips forward. Reach forward, palms face each other, lengthen the back. shoulders drawing back and down, and slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Good. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock a little side to side. And then lower the feet onto the mat. Feet are hip width apart. Lift those hips for bridge pose. Interlace the hands behind you. You can prop yourself up. So you might stay here. So guys, I don't know what's going on in my own practice, but lately back bends have actually become more difficult. So I actually don't want to do a wheel. I tried earlier in my class today. I did one. It didn't feel good, so I didn't do it. I didn't push it. So if that's what's going on in any type of pose, give yourself a rest. Take the modification today, knowing that you don't always have to push it. Still staying strong. So that doesn't mean it's a sign of weakness. It doesn't mean you're digressing in any way, because you're certainly not. But maybe there's just something you need to nurture. Maybe for me, it's something going on in my back. I know my back symbolizes support. So maybe in all aspects of my life, I don't feel super supported right now. You don't have to dive into it that much, but and it doesn't always mean something. So don't start to critique everything that's going on in your body, please. You'll drive yourself crazy. But ultimately, rest. Give yourself a break. Be patient with yourself. I know my back bends are going to come back. I know I'm not going to be able to do a wheel for the rest of my life. It has nothing to do with that. I need to rest a little. So when you're done with whatever back bend you chose today, your legs are going to come straight up in the air, feet are flexed, legs as straight as possible. Supta Dandasana, great way to neutralize the spine. It's also a great inversion. Any neck, shoulder issues you have going on today, you're going to stay here. You may kind of open up your hips, get into the inner thighs. If you want more of an inversion, you can push into your hands, lift your feet up over the head. Please don't try to look at me in the TV or try to look at, if you're doing this with a buddy, it doesn't matter. Just watch me first if you're not 100% sure, and then take your time going up into it, looking at your own feet, okay? So rolling up into a plow. This is plow. Then you'll bring your hands to the lower back and lift up. One leg or both at a time. Once you get up here, you can really have freedom to play. You can stay stagnant. Feel free to just keep lifting up. Imagine you're being lifted up by your big toes. That's perfect. Maybe you start to spread the legs, open up the legs wide, bending the knees. This feels so good in my hips. Every day's different too, right? You may not do every single thing the same exact way. Maybe you do, and ultimately it feels different each and every time. When you're finished playing, we're here for at least 5 breaths, and then slowly start to straighten the legs, bringing your feet up over the head again, backing out of it into that plow one more time. Straighten out the arms. Keep your legs close into the body as you roll down one vertebrae at a time. With control, lowering the back, lowering the legs, and lifting the chest for a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good. Slowly roll onto the back, setting up a twist. I always end with a twist. Just one last opportunity to wring out the spine to get rid of any toxins that may still be in there. So hug your right knee in and twist over to the left. Work to keep that right shoulder down. Inhale and exhale. Good. Back to center. Switching to the other side. Back to center. Shavasana. Let the feet flop out, the palms fall open. Inhale, open up the mouth, stick out the tongue. Ah. Inhale. Exhale. Just let it go. That childlike mentality. If I asked a kid to scream at the top of the lungs, they wouldn't think twice. They'd do it and probably never stop, right? So see if you can just connect to that inner child, be joyful, be light. See if you can create a freedom in your body, in your mind through this practice, so that you're not so serious. You're not so grown up, right? Somehow we think we have to take care of these things. We have all these responsibilities, but keep that childlike mentality, that lightness about you, that joyful, loving inner peace. See if you can feel the support of the floor under you, kind of allowing your body to become really heavy. And then as you lie here for a few more moments, maybe you can start to feel like you're just letting go, like your body's weightless. Allow the breath to flow in and out of the nose or the mouth completely effortlessly. You can stay here. Long shavasana are always welcomed, or start to bring some movement back into the body, wiggling fingers, toes, reaching up over the head. Like a good morning stretch, lengthening through the right side, the left side, and then just let go one more time. Hugging the knees in. Rock a little side to side, up and down. And meet me in a comfortable seated position. Peeling that flesh away from the sitting bones. Hands come to namaste. As you bow into yourself, acknowledging your effort, knowing you did your very best today. Thank yourself for rolling out the mat, for doing the work, whether you did 5 minutes, whether you did the whole class, it doesn't matter. Thank yourself. Thank your body for allowing you to move the way you did. And I thank each and every one of you for tuning in, for practicing with me, for allowing me to guide you. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Rest peacefully. Drink lots of water. See you guys next week. Namaste.